Boy, Detroit Love with another video. Today we're going to take a look at the New Wave toys. They have a couple of new cabinets that's going on sale here soon, and just want to talk about New Wave toys. I had never owned one. My boy P Dubs gave me a this guy back here, Dragon's Lair. So I got something to talk about. Let's check it out. So what's going on, everybody? It's actually my birthday today, so I went out to dinner with my wife and had a great time, some drinks, and I haven't been live for a while. So on a Thursday night, I'm typically out with the fellas uh, until the wee hours, but I got some time, so get on here and see who's out here and talk about this new wave toys. So I'm going to bring this down here, and so they're having a pre-sale that's going on currently with New Wave Toys. Now you can see behind me over here. What up, Rob? Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Uh, I have the quarter scale Pac-Man by Numbskull, and I have the Dragon's Lair by New Wave Toys. So you can see it's a distinct difference between the two, and both of them are very well made. It comes down. What up, Dan Z? It really comes down to if you like these replicates, these very well made renditions of the actual cabinets. Now, New Wave Toys and Numbskull to date, I don't think they have ever created the same exact game, so you can compare apples to apples. But I tell you, these things are very well made. Uh, I like both of them, but I still prefer the Numbskull size. It's like comparing a if we're talking about the arcade one up, it's like comparing a Pro Series next to a three-quarter scale without the riser. That's about the difference in the size of the two, and the Pro size is an awesome size for the three-quarter scale, and so comparing these two, I still like the size of the Numbskull. But that's not to take anything away from New Wave Toys. This is a very well made cabinet, and so they're coming out with this new one that I'm sure is going to be just as nice. Thanks, Dan, for the happy birthday wish. Um, now, you say you have FOMO on the. Now, are you talking about the Ghosts and Goblins, or the? I always get these things. The ghouls and goblins. Is that what it is? Ghosts and goblins, and ghouls and ghosts. I always plays ghosts and goblins, ghosts and goblins. Try to say that three times. Um, I'm sure I played the ghouls and ghosts. Aren't they basically the same exact game? Uh, it's a very difficult game, whatever you want to say about it. In my book, um, it is definitely a tough game to play. so so New Wave Toys, man. So they have this the 21 day, basically 22 days left in this pre-sale, and they're selling both of these units at 159 or $160 even. Um, so let's just take a look at the Ghosts and Goblins. Let's just make this cannot make it any bigger because that's a picture, but so $159. This is a pre-order item. Estimated ship date is Halloween 2023. So Dan Z says, if I can get my mouse up here, our Ghosts, Bee, Goblins, and Goblins. I can't even say this. Yeah, they're nearly the same. Yeah. Um, I don't think I've ever gotten off like the third screen on this game. Oh, okay. So you would beat it, and then they make you do it all over again. So it never ended. You couldn't beat the game. Just keep making you do it. Keep adding quarters in there until you ran out of quarters or ran out of stamina. Huh? Uh, yeah, it was a very difficult game. This is definitely a game I played quite a bit at the arcade on the also on the consoles. It's always one of those games I say, "Oh, Ghosts and Goblins," and I would gravitate to it and play it. But I always sucked with this game. Um, yeah, it's just a very hard game. Even with a code, it's still very hard. Yeah, I mean, these things were designed to eat your quarters, and they made sure this game was going to get a lot of quarters if you were going to get far at all. I couldn't imagine. You say you beat it. Now, did you play it on the console with a code? I imagine it had to be on the console, right? If you had a code, not on the arcade. But some of the arcades had the up, down, left, right type of codes too later on. But um, yeah. If you lost the armor, yeah, that armor, and they usually got that pretty quick, so you would run around butt naked, um, trying to survive, and those things would just jump out the ground so quickly it made it virtually impossible to win this thing. Okay, yeah, so you played on NES, yeah, so uh, and I could imagine how many hours it would take even with this unlimited code to beat this game. So we talk about these 1/6 scale, quarter scale, these things, and P Dubs always says he only plays this when he dusts them every month. Um, so considering that some people don't even play these games, they like them for the decorations. I actually, I mean, you can actually play both. I play both. I still suck with Dragon's Lair, whether it's on my IRK or this new wave toy. It's like I just my brain just won't function with this Dragon's Lair game. But it's a heck of a cool cabinet to have on display, without a doubt. What up, Hollywood? Polo. I'm doing very well. It's my birthday tonight, so I'm doing pretty awesome. So I just wanted to jump on. Normally, I'm at the bar with the fellas on Thursday nights. They definitely want to do that with March Madness. I'm not really into March Madness, college basketball, but any time to hang out with the fellas is always a good time. But it's my birthday, and I always spend time my birthday night with the family, and so that's what I did tonight as well. So great time. But I've been wanting to thank you, Thunderbird. What's going on, brother? Uh, I've always wanted to see this new wave toy. Now I have the new wave charging coin changer device. I really like that, uh, and I have the Zotar thing on back order. So that's going to be coming out later this year. Um, so I have the Zotar Speaks. So I'm looking forward to getting that as well. Uh, so 1/6 scale as well. So I really uh, am looking forward to this. So this would have been my first new way, and it's not really a cabinet, right? Um, Fortune teller machine, but so I have a cabinet, and then I'll have the Zotar, and then I have the change machine. Now I wanted the little boom box when this thing came out on the Kickstarter. When they came out with the Kickstarter, I really wanted to get this blaster, one of these things here, but they're just so expensive. This Why is this thing so expensive? Um, so the mini blaster's $60. It's $200 for this M90. I don't know what the difference between these two. This is a Slick Rick BUA. I don't know who BUA is. I know Slick Rick. Um, then they have this case you can buy. But I really wanted to get these when they were on Kickstarter. and I passed up on it. But they had some really cool stuff. I really like the Coke machine. I have a little Coke machine refrigerator that I use when people are over. I have like 3 fridges down here, so I never have it on unless I'm having parties and a lot of people are all over the basement. But I have this change machine. I have the brown one. This is the blue one. I don't see the brown one here. I have this one here, the brown one. Um, and I really like this. Now, I had an accident and I smashed my Pac-Man moving my IRK. I had these things sitting on top of the IRK and I went to move it without looking up and forgot that I had it up there. I saved the change machine from falling, but the Pac-Man went what 5 feet to the concrete floor. I was able to, glue it back together, but it looks like a 40-year-old machine with a little TLC. Um, Hollywood says, "Happy birthday! Did I have a special birthday meal tonight?" Yeah, I go to this place called the Deadwood Grill and Bar, and I like their ribs. They used to have a rib and barbecue rib and barbecue chicken combo that came with your choice of size, cornbread, and it came with some coleslaw. But since COVID, they changed the menu, and it only you can only get the ribs. You can't even get the chicken. But it used to be like half a slab of ribs and a half chicken barbecue. It used to be delicious. The ribs, so that's what I have to get now. But I like the place. I only go on my birthday, so I definitely that's been a tradition for about 10 years or so now. Dan Z say he keeps his Dragon Lair in the box. Played like twice. Yeah. Now I if you break it like me, then you're bummed out. But as a bummer, I dropped my quarter scale numbskull. But it's still functional. You see it's on back there. It's still functional, and I was able to piece together. It's got some love nicks and stuff to it now. But yeah, it definitely is a really quality built cabinet without a doubt. Let me just switch this back. Um, yeah, it is a really well made cabinet. Now I know this coin door opens up. Uh, I just can't seem to get it to open, and I know it has like a little drawer on the back here that has that little mini disc player. But oh, there it is. Okay, so I got that open. So it has that little mini disc player in there. Uh, so really authentic. Now they have more controls on the back of theirs, so that takes away from the authenticity a little bit. Where the quarter scale numbskull is almost to the T. It's just a power switch. It's just a little bigger, but really well made. Um, it's hard to tell if this is plastic or wood, but I'm thinking it's plastic. It could be wood. I think it's wood with some plastic, obviously. Um, but really, really well made cabinet, nice and solid. Uh, I'm really impressed with it. I just, I still just prefer, I still just prefer the size of the numbskull, but this is a really well made cabinet. All right, let me get caught up on the chat. Okay. So yeah, guys. I just want to get on, chat with you guys, see what's up. What you guys been up? I went to Jamaica a couple of weeks back for a whole week. That was a lot of fun. Had a great time. Just got to relax, drink some Jamaican rum, um, which is my favorite. Appleton Estate is my favorite rum. Matter of fact, I just picked up some 12-year today for my birthday. But I had more of their other rums, Kingston and things like that while I was in Jamaica. You had to like special request to Appleton for some reason because it's more expensive. I wanted to get the 100 year, but they wanted like 175 bucks, which I guess is not bad. Um, or was it 29 year, but it was 100 bucks? I can't remember. 150, 170 bucks they were asking for it. There in Jamaica at the duty free. I think it was cheaper if I bought it actually on the island than it was at the duty free, but I didn't do it. Oh yeah, so you spent some time in the grill. I have never been to the grill, um, but I love Jamaica. I've been to Montego Bay, and I've been to Orchards Rios. I've been through Kingston because we flew into Kingston last time and drove to Negril. I'm sorry, drove to Orchards Rios, which means 8 rivers. Climbed the Dunn's River Falls, did some snorkeling, partied on the party boat, zip lines. So we had a lot of fun there. Orchards Rios is like where all the cool things to do because they have all that water inland with the rivers. So most people go if they're in Montego Bay. They if they take an excursion, it's typically to Orchards Rios. Um, but yeah, I think the grill is what we were thinking about going next. My next vacation, I want to do a sandals resort, all inclusive. I always do all inclusive when I go to Jamaica because you ain't got to worry about anything. But I want to go to one of the sandals uh, resorts where there's no kids. I don't want to see any kids next time I go to Jamaica. So that's the plan. You get any pinball, D Love? I can afford the actual pinball game, but man, I know nothing about maintenance, and they are expensive. Yeah, I have zero interest in full size cabinets of any sort. I'm happy with my V pin. Even at the 24-inch screen, I still haven't even gotten my 32-inch up ALP going because I'm perfectly content with even my 24-inch. So um, I would love to have a full size pinball, a full size Donkey Kong, and possibly a Tekken. But I really have no interest in the full size. Things are just take up way too much space, heavy as heck. It's just I have no interest. I definitely won't be on that bandwagon of the full size things. I'm content now. I do like the Pro, my Killer Instinct Pro. I like that size, even though it's closer to a full size. It's still not close to age with the Ret P and the Mouse Poo, and the size and the weight. The weight is the killer thing. Move the things around. So no. To answer your question, no. I will not be getting any pinball. I've thought about getting an older video cabinet or a pinball cabinet and converting it to a V pin. I've thought about that when I first started getting into V pin, but no, I'm perfectly fine with this size. Um, so Thunderbird, you were at Sandals, man. So yeah, that's why I definitely want to do that. I know they have the cruise ships that come over as well, and they have these promotion and I'm sure they had it then as well. Uh, Stay at one, play at two, and so you get to whether you do the cruise, you can come on the island, hang out there. If you're on the island, you can go over to the cruise and take advantage of those amenities that are there. So that's pretty cool. What up, Paul? No matter if I go live or release a video, Paul always finds it and comes and say what's up. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys taking time tonight on a Thursday night with 10:20 here to hang out with me and just to see what's up. Yep, it's my birthday and I cry if I want to. Though I won't be doing any crying at all, but yeah, birthday. Uh, you can guess my age. Do I look younger? Go and guess. What's my age? I might have mentioned it over time. Let me know in the chat how old you guys think I am. Dan Z says I have some OG games, but the maintenance and weight of moving them are horrendous. Donkey Kong, Cocktail, Miss Pac-Man, Track and Field, Tron, Spy Hunter. Um, yeah. You you have to have some friends, some help, some dollies, some room to move those around. Now I have plenty of room. I could put several big cabinets in here, but most people uh, they're not going to have the room for that many full size. Uh, there's a guy in state that he has them all over his house. It's like, man, he has both full size and arcade one-ups, and they're like in his basement, in his two spare bedrooms, in his kitchen, in the dining room. It's like, wow, I'm not I'm not interested in making my whole house um, an arcade. What up, Music Mike? Um, so uh, nope, got to go up, up. Uh, absolutely not. No. But Thunderbird is closest. Um, so how are you thinking the Lions will do? Um, well, you know, the Lions, you just gotta love them. I've said this time and time again. As long as the Ford Motor Company um, owners own the Detroit Lions, uh, it's never they're never gonna they're never gonna um, put the money into it to get the right personnel to really do anything. Um, the Detroit Lions sell more tickets, ticket sales, jersey sales, concession sales. They sell more than some teams that are winning teams that have gone to the playoffs. um, so the Detroit Lions organization is a uh, well run business, and there's no motivation to. Each year they'll do just enough to say they did something, but as a losing team, they outdo so many other stadiums and teams. So I mean, I think they're going to ride if they don't change too many of the personnel. I think they'll do great this year. Um, Golf is definitely fitting in there well. Um, you know, Matthew Stafford was here for years, and Matthew Stafford has a heck of an arm on him. Uh, he's prone to throwing interceptions though, but I don't think they'll ever do. I don't think they'll ever go to the Super Bowl with the Fords at the helm. I just don't think it's going to happen. Paul, man, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Happy birthday, my dude. Carl, you're aging like fine wine. And so I know you saw my one video when I was talking about uh, the one comedian. I forget his name, but he was talking about his wife. He goes, and the guy goes, I hear she's aging like wine. He was like, no, she's aging like milk. Gets sour with time, right? So that's pretty funny. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But yeah, they're not gonna do anything with the Fords at the helm. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah, unfortunately, and they always, we had obviously great running backs over the years, great receivers, like Megatron. You had Barry Sanders, but they never are going to have, even what's the guy that came from Seattle, Golden Tate, awesome receiver. They just won't ever have the put the money in all the areas enough to make the adjustment to win. But you know, I'm a big fan of football. This blue light on my head is just driving me crazy here. Let's see if that helps. There you go. That's a little better. Uh, so yeah, it's just not going to happen. But they have great position, great quarterback, great wide receiver, great. I don't think we've ever had a great tight end, but great running back, great receivers, but just not the complete package. So Paul says, I'm a lifelong Packer fan, but Barry is my favorite player ever. Got to watch the Lions. Yeah, if you ever got to see Barry Sanders, there was just few guys like him, man. I don't think there's anybody been like him. It was just an exciting, explosive player that if you ever got to see him in person, it was pretty awesome. And even on the video replays, it's just the guy was just incredible to see. Um, and I don't know, he's a very very humble guy, country boy. You know, he just wasn't. I mean, he still lives here in Metro Detroit. He's still active. You know, you see him in a lot of the local lawyer commercials. They pay him money to promote that. But he was just so thankful that the Detroit Lions gave him an opportunity to get out the small town he was from and gave him an opportunity in NFL. He didn't want to go to another team. He should have gone to another team, and he would have done excellent with another team. Probably would have had a Super Bowl ring with a different team. Often people say that the Detroit Lions are cursed. Um, I say the curse is probably the Ford ownership, um, but um, but nevertheless, I'm a big fan. Sometimes I can't watch their games because whether they got a 40-point lead or a 3-point lead, uh, it's just nerve wracking to watch. So I usually just wait. And that's why I got into fantasy football because I have all kinds of people to cheer for, root for, and different teams to watch, and I can just find out what the Lions have done because it's just so stressful for me to watch them. So, how much time do you spend on your games? I play my PS5 more than anything, just like looking at the arcades mostly lit up. Um, yeah, I got a full life, full family, full time schedule of stuff. I don't play any one thing a whole lot. I'll jump between things. Uh, I got this PS5 and I have not played it much at all. Um, my next door neighbor he has it and we'll go play Madden and we'll switch and play Madden from PS5 and Madden on the Xbox. So I've been playing Xbox lately, um, and trying to get good because I hadn't played Madden in so long. I'm my Xbox. I have Madden 17. I Madden 17, which I just cracked the seal on the game CD or DVD, whatever it is. Excuse me. I just opened it. Literally took the plastic off of it. 2017, uh, and played that for the first time. So I'm always behind on Madden because I'm not a big fan of giving somebody $75 for these Madden games. So I typically pick them up at the GameStop for a much cheaper price, $5, $6, 20 at the max. So I'm willing to be well behind in the years to get um, a cheaper cost on it. So I just cracked that up and was playing that there. And I think golf was in his rookie year that year, 2016. Um, so let me catch up here. Left the game too early. Yeah, for sure. Barry Sanders left the game way too early. What up? What up? Fajo 310. Go Pistons. Man, I haven't kept up with the Pistons since Prince and those guys won the championship. I'm a football fan. I like basketball, but it's just too many basketball games in any given week. I just can't do it. And in college basketball, the same way. I didn't go the traditional college route like some people, so I don't have any allegiance to college, in particular college, and I'm not really into that because I didn't go to college games, things like that. So I don't really follow too much of the college football or baseball. I'm sorry, basketball. I don't follow any baseball, but basketball, I don't follow the March Madness. I don't do that. I'll go out and hang out with the guys, and the games be on, and I'll watch it, but it's not like I have to watch it. College football, my best friend that passed last year, Sean Campbell, he always told me, you're not a real football fan because you don't, watch college football, and that's where all the guys come from, right? But I said, I'll wait till they come to the pros, and I'll know who they are at that point in time. But I enjoy professional football for the most part. I'll watch college football. I'll watch um, high school football. If I turn on TV and football's playing, I'll watch it. I like the I like the what was it called LFL, the lingerie football. But they got rid of that, so I have to watch those in rerun. But I like football. Is the point I'm making. Um, but Dan, you were just saying about the I play my arcade one ups weekly for sure. Weekly for sure. As you probably know, I was playing my Switch a whole lot because I had my 2K golf on that, and I hadn't played that for a long time. And I just actually today I played a the first round. I played the season whatever, so I played 2 rounds a game, um, and I played the first round. I'm in second with like minus I think 12. The other guys in first with minus 14 or 14. So I'm pretty good in that game. I like that game. So I hadn't played it for a long while, but that would have gotten the most. I probably got 800 hours on that Switch, but I hadn't played that for months. Um, Often I'll take it with me and I'll put it in my car, and then I think I might have an opportunity to play. Say if I go to the dentist, and then I don't, so it stays in my car, and that type of thing. So I just played the golf for the first time in a long time. Um, if I come down here lately again, I've been playing the Xbox, playing some football. So because my neighbor beat me pretty bad last time I was over his place, so I need to get some practice on Madden. Um, let's see. Anything else I play? I just played some pinball the other day. I've been I play. I've been playing some Blitz, and I've been playing some KI Pro. Um, and that's about it that I've been doing lately. I hadn't played. I was in Jamaica, so obviously I didn't play for that week. But typically, it's a couple times a week for sure. Music Mike could play the OG Donkey Kong the most. Now, now I always say Donkey Kong. I always say Donkey Kong because I love me some Donkey Kong. But if I bought a cabinet, I think I would get Donkey Kong Junior over Donkey Kong. Um, though to be honest, I have many ways to play all these games. But when I play on my modified Galaga, I play the regular Donkey Kong more than I do Donkey Kong Junior. But I think if I bought a cabinet, I would buy the Donkey Kong Junior. That's what I'm thinking, but it's kind of weird because I haven't played it much on the emulation. Um, yeah, Coin Ops is cool. Both of my matter of fact, all of my at games products are down for some reason, um, and they're both based on me. Two of them, the ALP and the ALU, both are down because of stuff I've done. Modding it and poking around with it. My Gamer Pro, I turned that on for the first time in a long time, and I have the stand from Play Stuff store in Canada, and for some reason I cannot get the Bluetooth to sync up with the little puck. So I was pretty frustrated about that. So all of my at games products are down. Um, I just don't have a sign on that on that Gamer Pro, but I definitely I definitely need to get those things up and running. Yeah, and I get that, and that's why I don't. I had an old version for so long, and I didn't upgrade my Madden until the Ford Field was built. When Lions built the new stadium called Ford Field, and so I bought that version. I don't recall what year it is, um, and I had that for the longest. Um, Now, so that really bums me out that they are going digital. They're making everybody buy these games digital because I can't go to GameStop and buy a digital copy of a game now. So they're trying to get away from that after that um, what do you call it, aftermarket um, products. So reselling these games, which just sucks. So I'm not a fan of the digital download for that reason, and also because they charge the same price for a digital copy as opposed to the physical one where you have to actually make a disc, make a box art, right, package it, ship it somewhere. It's just ridiculous that they charge the same price for both. They'll have sales and things like that, but it's still a pain. That it still sucks that they try and charge the same exact price, if not more, for the digital download when it doesn't cost them as much to produce as it does. Um, yeah, the games are just way too expensive. Now I've spent money on first release, like my what are those games called? Um, where the guy gets to hack, he can electronically hack into your phone and take your money. Um, I got the statuettes and all that stuff. I bought like the collector's edition of those games. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a PlayStation game. Um, now the Red Wings, yeah, Joe Louis, yeah, they've tore that thing down. They're building something over there. There's new construction over there. I'm not sure what they're building over there. But now the Red Wings. Now my sons are Canadian, and they play a lot of street hockey when they were younger. They play. My youngest son played hockey in the leagues and in school, high school. Um, I took them to a game when they were younger at Joe Louis. Saw the Red Wings. I've only been to one game, one live game of the Red Wings or any hockey. No, no, that's not true. I've been to in Plymouth, Michigan. Here they have those little. I don't know if they're not like minor league. They're lower than that, AAA or whatever they call it. And they have these hockey games. Now the school used to give us tickets. I don't recall why I got the tickets, or I don't think I knew any kids playing. So I have done that. It was definitely a reason for me to go to this minor league hockey games here. But outside of that, I've only been to one hockey game. And to be honest, hockey moves so fast. I actually prefer to watch it if I'm going to watch it on TV because you got the instant replays. It's like it happens so fast. Like, hey, everybody's like, whoa, yeah. I'm like, what happened? What happened? It happens too fast, fast action. So to me personally, it would be a waste of money for me to go to the game, but I did it because my kids loved hockey and they wanted to go. Uh, but I would have just as easy watched it on TV. Spartans lost today. Yeah, basketball. I have a lot of Spartans on my street here, flying their flags and have their little things on their lawn and license plates with Spartans. I have a few Michigan folk here as well, but the Spartans seem to dominate my block here. So I'm always hearing about the Spartan games. Big Blue is the only arcade one up I play anymore. Um, Big Blue, I seldom ever play Big Blue. I got it because it was online, and then I went online and got beat so bad that I have not had any interest of playing online with Big Blue. But I wanted to try it out. Or when people come, like matter of fact, my I'm gonna have people over for Saturday for my birthday, and we'll have game night. So all these games be lit up. There'll be the PlayStation running, the arcades running, the uh, everybody be having fun. And so Big Blue will definitely get played. It always gets played. Um, Even though I can play those same games on my modified Street Fighter, I usually put I'll put Tekken 3 up on that cabinet. And if someone wants to play Street Fighter, they'll play it on the Big Blue. Um, yeah, EA Sports, man. I I've always been a fan of EA. It's in the game, right? So I'm not familiar with this game coming out on the 6th, but I'll definitely have to check it out. I definitely wanted to get the Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods obviously is I'm a big fan of Tiger Woods. He had some struggles over the last few years, and so that I know 2K, they had the Tiger Woods. They just wanted so much money for it. It's just I just couldn't do it. I'm hoping they'll go on sale. later. Again, I don't mind getting it 2 years from now for $30, or less. But I do want to have that uh, in my collection because I'm a big fan of Tiger Woods. My games definitely get more play during the winter. Yep, spring comes, I'm outdoors. That's me. My bikes are back there. You can see them. The lights, you can see the reflectors on me and my wife's bike. Yeah, I even bought these gloves that you can attach to the handlebars, and they'll keep your hands from getting super cold when if it's too cool outside. So I definitely want to get started riding earlier. And I used to commute prior to COVID, the pandemic. I used to drive my bike 20 miles both ways, or 40 round trip, but 20 miles uh, each way uh, as part of my commute. My commute is 40 miles total. But I've been working mostly at home since the pandemic. So I had a lot of opportunity to ride my bike for that, for commuting, which I definitely enjoy. I would rather be on my bike and take 2 hours to get to work as opposed to driving and taking 1 hour to get to work and stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, which what it was prior to the pandemic. But it hadn't been that bad, though it is crapping back up. Here in Michigan, we have 2 seasons. Not, they say four on paper, but it's really 2 seasons here in Michigan. There's winter and then construction season. And so the traffic is getting crazy because they have all this construction crap out there, and they purposely do the roads where it leaves you no way out. Why do these two roads, major roads, at the same time and prevent people from getting where they want to go? So that really sucks when they do that. So it's getting rough. So if I was to go into the office more, I definitely would ride my bike. But yeah, I'm itching to get out, and I'm really at the point now where because I bring my bikes down here because I don't have enough room in the garage in the winter because the ladies want to drive, they want to park in the garage, so in the two-car garage. So, but once spring breaks, only my wife will park in the driveway. I'm sorry, in the garage, and everybody else is on the street or the driveway. And the other half gets all the spring stuff, dirt and building stuff, and all that type of crap. And my two bikes, or my wife's bike and my bike, that's up there, and it stays out there until it's time to shut down that the bike season. So I can't wait to get out on the road. Even my wife has been asking, "Hey, when are we gonna get out?" So she's itching to get out, which I'm very delighted. I bought that for her, I think 2 Christmases ago, and she said the electric bike is the best gift she never knew she wanted. So she's very thrilled with it. Oh yeah, she doesn't ride nearly as much as me, but she enjoys it, and I enjoy riding with her, even though it's an electric bike and she doesn't really use the electric much when we ride. She just enjoys being out and having the option to do it. She rides so slow. I mean, I I literally am not pedaling half the time because if I just touch my thing, I'm going faster than her. So um, it's a different experience when I'm riding with my wife as opposed to riding with the fellas. But I enjoy both. So I enjoy getting out with her and spending time with her. Um, but a lot of times, like I'll be like, lady, just hit your throttle, catch up with me. Um, but she rides so slow. I literally almost will fall over trying to stay at her speed. Um, but Danzy, you're exactly right. Watch Dogs. That's the game I was trying to think of. I have Watch Dogs 1 and Watch Dogs 2. I have both the figurines for Watch Dogs. I paid premium dollars for it. I'm a techie, and Watch Dogs is definitely a techie game. I really like that game. There's another game I really liked. I think it was on the Xbox at the time when I was a PlayStation guy, and I need to get that game. I can't think of the name of that, and one of you guys probably know it as well, where the guy can like ride across the power lines, and he can make his appearance changed to look like whoever he comes in contact with. That was a pretty cool game. Whatever the heck the name of that was, but that's a pretty cool game. I need to see if my older version can play on the newer Xbox. Now that I have it. Um, but if anybody knows the name of that, let me know. The game, Xbox game that lets you the character ride the electricity lines, power lines. Yeah, Watch Dogs. Yeah, Watch Dogs can get pretty tough. Um, but I finished both of them. The first one, the driving mechanics was very horrible compared to like what's the other popular game? Grand Theft Auto. Compared to Grand Theft Auto, which I've never finished, um, but I always have a copy of it and love like just going in there goofing around. But the mechanics, the driving mechanics, was really bad on Watch Dogs One. So much so that I got really frustrated and I stopped playing it. I didn't finish it. I do that with a lot of games. When Watch Dogs 2 came out, um, had a brother there, as the character. So I definitely had to get that one. And I finished that game. Driving mechanics was way better. And it really worked well. But once I got through with that game, it motivated me to go back and finish Watch Dogs 1, which I did. So I really did enjoy both of them. But the driving mechanics is just horrible on one. Um, Sunset Overdrive. No, I don't think that's the game I'm thinking about. Um, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't that. I'll know the name if I hear it. Um, so I end up buying all the Maddens and play them release day, and never pick it up again. Yeah, Madden. I'm a fan. Now they had one called on the Dream. It came 2K. It was called 2K, NFL 2K. It came out on PlayStation for $20. 2K NFL 2K or 2K NFL, whatever it was, and that game was phenomenal. That game was sweet. That game was so sweet. Madden went out and bought the license for the NFL and the players, so no one can ever make another football games with the real players because they were so threatened by that. Yeah, 2K was hot, absolutely, and Madden it threatened them because Madden was like $60, and they were selling these things for $20, and it was a hell of a game. I still have that game somewhere. I'll have to find that disc. I never sell my stuff. I go to GameStop and buy stuff, but I never sell anything at GameStop. Um, but oh, there's my daughter. Hey, lady, happy birthday! I appreciate it. Um, let's see where I leave off here. Oh, you're saying that the Donkey Kong Jr. is hard. Can't get the third screen. Yeah, I can get pretty far on Donkey Kong Jr. I did not like Donkey Kong Jr. the third or Donkey Kong 3 or whatever that one where it just got so weird. I'm not a fan of that one. And I'm not a fan of most things. Once it gets to the three, whether it's a movie, a game, you're just regurgitating. So I'm a tough sell once you get past the third, Die Hard 3 or whatever the case might be. I pretty much give up on it. Excuse me. Uh, Here in Dallas, we hit 83 degrees at my house today. Spring is sprung. Time to walk more. Less time for one ups. Absolutely. Today, I think we're like 45 degrees. One, it's definitely chilly still, but um, for us, that's pretty good this time of year. And 45 with sun would have been a whole lot better, but no sun. Pretty cloudy today. We had some rain early in the day. What up? What up, Rachel? What is this here? No, yeah, yeah. We already said that the puzzles are hard. Um, so when I went to Jamaica with the family, I took my drone. I don't think I have any shots to show on Probably, maybe I do. And I took that thing up, and it lost connection with the phone. I didn't lose connection with the drone, but I couldn't see where it was going from my phone, and that scared the crap out of me. I was like, "Get this thing back!" And so I just got two quick runs with it before I was just terrified that I was going to lose it and have it fly over Cuba or somewhere. So I pulled it down and decided I had enough shots. So I think this was the first one. So let me share. Oh, I got it here. Um, so I'm a big fan of drones. The technology on this is a DJI um, drone. I think a Mini 2, the Mini 2. I've tried all kinds of drones in the past, various different prices, and pretty much wrecked them all. Um, but these DJI, they practically, you take your hand off, they just hover. They just hover where they stand, and so that's really nice. So you don't have to worry about crashing much at all. But this is a really nice drone. So I got some nice shots. And the wind was pretty strong. These things fight the wind pretty good, but I went down here and then I lost control, and so I started. That's why I'm spinning like this, like which way. I'm just looking at it from the distance and trying to figure out which uh, which way it's going. So I'm going up and down, you know, trying to figure out where which direction it was going in. So these are some shots that took. Should have been one more video, but I'm not sure where it is. Hello, Baywatch baby. So I think this was the second video that I braved it enough just to try it one more time, but I wasn't gonna go too far. Yeah, this the water just crystal clear. You can see the seaweed down below, but yeah, the water just crystal clear. It's just beautiful island. I love Jamaica. Love going there. Definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend staying on the island. All inclusive resort as opposed to a cruise where you just get dropped off for a few hours. Um, I definitely recommend it. See some people waving there. And they do have a return to home feature which I can hit on the app or on the actual drone. So, but it still doesn't. You still can never get over the fact that you could possibly lose the the drone. Whenever's up there, no matter what the price that you paid for it, you still always just have that in the back of your mind, like $1,000, $800, $500, whatever the case you pay on it, could just fly away, could just lose its connection and be gone forever. So um, I don't think I ever get comfortable with that. Yeah, so Donkey Kong 3, right? You had that insect spray thing. Yeah, that really sucked. I just never liked that that's exactly what I didn't like about it. You had to shoot that and push them up, and it was just just weird. They were just trying to keep milk it. They just tried to milk it, right? And trying to come up with something else to get some more quarters. Um, right, yeah. Spy balloon. Did they ever say what who own those? Did they ever recover these things? That I don't know. I don't know what to think about some of this stuff sometimes. Yeah, DK3, nah. Uh, it came on late, and I definitely wasn't a fan. Yeah, DJI makes some great drones. Now, my brother has the Mavic, which is the next bump up, and it's considerably bigger and longer range and more sensors. And I think mine has sensors on the bottom and the front. I think his has all around, so we can back up and it'll see the tree, and um, but he also has the separate controller, which costs just as much as the drone, so you don't have to use your phone. And every time I go do mine, I'm like, oh shoot, I want to fly, but my phone is on 30% or whatever. So I would love to have the extra controller, so I wouldn't have to worry about having to have my phone charged up and in use. Um, and it won't have to lose connection with the phone like it did there. So at one point in time, I'll definitely get um, that controller. And since my daughter's on here listening, maybe for Christmas, that's what everybody gets instead of socks and cologne like I asked for. Uh, but just kidding. Yeah, the drone takes some pretty good shots. I have shots downtown Detroit, which are awesome uh, videos. I even flew almost to Canada and came back across the river. So I have a really nice shot of that. Um, one of the lifeguards came down and they said, I don't really know the rules, but someone may approach you and say something to you. But he admitted he didn't know, but he would just give me a warning. Hey, somebody might. And I said, huh, the apps are really good. They are very accurate in telling you whether it's okay to fly where you are. That still doesn't stop people who don't know or have misinformation from approaching you and saying something. But uh, the the primary rule is that you shouldn't fly over people. Um, and obviously, if there's an airport nearby, and and you don't go over a certain height, which DJI is good at locking you in, being aware of where you are, what the rules are there, and keeping you. I think you can override those safeguards, but they by default will not allow you to go higher than you should be able to go. So DJI is uh, definitely great product. Oh, you have the Mavic. Um, yeah, that's a pretty cool drone. But the Mini is pretty awesome too. So I definitely enjoy hanging out with it and flying. So it says, cool thing if Mavic controller is low, you can use your phone to boost power or drop in a power bank. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I know with my normal charger or controller, it's like I only have to charge that like every 50 flights or something. It's like that thing lasts forever. Now imagine a controller with the video would drain faster because it has video, right? But the one that comes with my mini that doesn't have that you have to hook your phone up to, that battery, I, I seldom after I seldom ever have to charge that controller. Battery just lasts forever. Yeah. Well, fortunately, I've never had to worry about that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna fly the thing obviously out of my sight per the rules, but and just I don't I want to send $1,000 or whatever it cost me uh out of my sight anyway, even if I can see through the screen. Um, yeah, it's just like I again I don't fly it for super long. I have the what they call play more package, so I have three batteries, so I can what that give you probably 45 minutes. Um, or hour maybe of total flight time, but I've never flown more than one battery, maybe two batteries max at any given time. So um, if I'm somewhere, I just want to get the bird's eye view. I'll do that. Uh, I did not. I did not buy it. Um, like I said, that's a very difficult game for me. I'm new to having this, and look like they both just went off on their own. Battery saver. Um, P Dubs gave me this new wave toy here, the Dragon's Lair, because he had two of them. Thank you, P Dubs. Appreciate it. Because I always curious because those guys are always saying how they love the new waves and they've had the numbskulls, so they're familiar with it, but they prefer the new wave. And I always said it to them when they said it. I don't get it. This numbskull is the awesome size and uh, playability of it is awesome. Screen size for playing, and now having this Dragon's Lair, uh, my opinion have not changed on it. I still think the numbskull because they're basically the same price. They both are well made. They both look like the original. Now, New Wave Toys they do a lot of extra stuff, and again, neither one of them have made the same cabinet. So, but Numbskull, I'm sorry, New Wave Toys, like the Ghosts and Goblins, they have a faux power cord now. So they always have. They got the tray where the coins you can actually insert the coins and they fall into the capture box, the bank box, or whatever you want to call it. Um, and they're always taking to the next level on their products. So that's what's pretty cool about these guys. I definitely. So you see here they have the new coin op feature where you can actually insert those coins because they all come with the little mini coins, but you can't insert them. But this now you can insert them. It has this coin collector box here. Uh, I'm not sure why I'm showing two mouse on there. That's weird. Um, they got a new reflection reduction technology on the screen, and you see they got the full coin. So they're they're more trying to get like every aspect of it. Like this has the mini disc player on the Dragon's Lair, while the cabinets that Numbskull are authentic, and I think they're more authentic as far as because they don't have that whole little panel on the back with all the buttons and HDMI out and all those things, which are pretty cool. They don't have it on this particular one that I can see because they're not showing the back, but you can hook it up and play it on your uh, TV because you can hook HDMI out, which is pretty awesome. So they made it authentic, and then they went over and above to give you those functionalities, hook up to a bigger speaker and all those things. So that's all pretty awesome. Where Numbskull is kind of keeping it true to the authenticity, the authentic look and feel of the game. So they're really appealing to two different crowds, but the level of detail that these new way cabinets go are just uh, they're just phenomenal. And I like the faux power cable that they're adding now. But yeah, I agree. The numbskull makes more sense if you want to play them, and I like playing them. I don't just like looking at them. So numbskull, let's just pull up a numbskull. Uh, Now numbskull is coming out with some new things as well. Numbskull. Now they do all kinds of other stuff, but here's so Space Invaders was their newest thing. You see, they have a Dig Dug, Pac Man. I know they have a Miss Pac Man. Uh, so Space Invaders, Pac Man 40th edition, Bubble Bobble, Miss Pac Man, Galaxian, Dig Dug, Galaga. I have the Pac Man. I have the Pac Man collector, so it came like with this collector coin, all that. But it's just a nice size. I like the size of that. Um, so if I'm not going to go full size on my big cabinets, at least I can go fuller size on my mini cabinets, right? So I like I like I like the size of the numbskull. I think everyone's game room should include one or one of each of these guys. I think they're really cool to add if you have some either some shelves on the wall because you don't want to drop it like me sitting on top of my IRK. But now I have a dedicated space over where I'm going to put them at now. I'll put away my Barry Sanders and my the football I have for when the Super Bowl was here. I think it was the 50th, maybe it was longer, 40th. I can't remember what Super Bowl it was, but I have a ball from that, and I had that on the shelf over there. But I'm gonna put these there because those can be put somewhere else. If they fall, they're not gonna break. Um, but yeah, but I think either the numbskull or so it basically comes down to what games you want to have because they don't make the same exact cabinets, so you have to choose between one or the other. They're all around the same price, pretty close. These guys, if they even say the price, because they're always sold out everywhere. These are UK, these are Canada, Best Buy USA. Let's see, it's probably sold out, I'm sure. No longer available. See that? So don't even know what the price is. So they're block it. Uh, it's hard to say, but they're around the same price. Staples is going to be sold out, right? Yep, no longer available. Uh, and so you may not even be able to get them unless you get them third party. And I know I saw someone had bought like several of them for a really low price. So it's like anything, timing, availability, chance, luck. You can get those probably in a you know if any of us move on through divorce or death, our significant others will get rid of all this stuff at a super reduced price, right? They're just gonna try and get rid of them. um, so you can find a deal if you just happen to be catch somebody's widow or ex-wife and ex-girlfriend. um, you can get a great price on all these things. uh, let's see here. Yeah, I love the new waves, but Ghosts and Goblins is way hard for me, and I wouldn't get much out of it. So I think at the size of the new waves, while you can play it, I think it's less likely that you will play it. At the numbskull size, they'll look great on display. Obviously, take up a little more room, but I think you'll actually play these more than the new wave. So it comes down to what you want to do with them. And it's funny that in all honesty, I don't even recall. And I think I close this out. I don't even recall seeing the Space Invaders. I think Space Invaders when it came out, we were just so enamored by the game itself. I don't even think I recall even seeing the cabinet look like either one of these. You know what I mean? I didn't pay that much attention to them um, at all. I just played the game, right? And back then there was usually just one or two cabinets next to each other. So um, I know I saw the artwork, but it never really stuck out to me like Galaga, like Donkey Kong, like Centipede. Centipede clearly, yep, Centipede. Those those cabinets, you noticed the artwork better, yeah. And I don't know. I still like my Tempest. I had a problem. I had to change out the control panel to get it working again, which Arcade One Up took care of, which was great. I really hate that I missed out on Centipede because I do not like playing the Centipede on Tempest um because it's horizontal, not vertical. I really wish I had gotten the vertical Centipede um, when it came out. And as far as the asteroids go, I wish I would have had the original 12-in-1 cabinet with a riser. Would have been what I would have preferred to have had, but I missed out on that. So yeah. Um, Missile Command, yeah. See, Missile Command is another one of those games. When it came out, uh, it was cool. When they made the movie about it, it was cool. But I have not been compelled to play Missile Command. Is not a game that I ever excelled at, and for my quarters, it was more riskier than pinball back in the day. I was gonna last not very long. Similar like Lunar Lander, which I wish that my Tempest had the Lunar Lander instead of whatever game it put on there. That's wacky. Um, I would have liked to have played that more and gotten better at it because I sucked with Lunar Lander growing up, and I wasn't gonna risk any money playing it. Um, but I liked it. Missile Command, I can't say I enjoyed playing Missile Command ever. Um, I have 3 Dragon Lairs, new in the box, bought 6, going to try to sell 2 of them, waiting on both Space Aces. So I'm assuming these are arcade, um, or these are arcade 1-up Dragon Lairs. Yeah, I have not had great success selling like in Facebook Marketplace, um, eBay. I think I bought one thing from eBay, sold one thing on eBay. Um, uh, Whatever those other sites are called, they one bought the other. I can't think what they're called, but those I would put things up there. Either I'm just not patient enough. What up, Goofy Foot? I don't know if I'm just not patient enough with those selling things, or just the time when I put the stuff up, the buyers aren't there, right? So I don't have the patience to leave them up long enough. Um, so and and you always have people trying to, do scams and stuff. So I have not had very good success with the aftermarket with these things. So I haven't bought an arcade 1-up or sold an arcade 1-up on any of those marketplaces. Yeah, offer up. Yeah. Um. So yeah, that's just my preference. I rather. That's why I don't buy. I don't sell much of stuff I get. I usually buy stuff that I'm extremely interested in, and even if I lose interest, I'd rather give it away to somebody than try and sell it to someone, some stranger. Um, that's just me. Or sell it to somebody I know. I just never really liked any of those sites. Yeah, Galaga, Galaxian loved them in the arcade. Yeah, I mean, when you hear that Galaxian sound, it just takes you back. Um, and I would say Galaxian takes me back, even though I prefer Galaga, but I started with Galaxian, right? You started with Galaxian, and so if I hear Galaxian, it's certain arcade games that are going to trigger, that's going to trigger and take me back. Pole position is one. When I hear pole position, I'm back at whatever age I was, and I wish there was an arcade 1-up pole position, even though I would love to have a more advanced racer, right? Um, but pole position is just part of my history. It's just ingrained into my mind when I hear that music. Galaxian same way. Um, when I hear that, I love it. But do I like to play it as much as Galaga? Absolutely not. But I do pull it up, turn it on, and play it because just for the sound, just for the sound. Cubert, I was never good at Cubert either. The directional thing, it just if I got to the second stage, I did well. And we all had those situations where you went to the arcade to play a particular game, but everybody and their mama is playing those games, and you only have so much time that you can be at this arcade, and so you end up playing Ghosts and Goblins or Q-Bird or some other game that you definitely didn't want to play, but you weren't going to leave the arcade without playing something. Defender, I suck at Defender. Um, Stargate, I suck at that. Those games, too many buttons and which way to do that, and gotta capture the guy and shoot the guy. You drop the thing and people, and I gotta go catch the thing. It was just too. It's just too much. It's just too much. So definitely wasn't a fan of those type of games. Um, yeah, just never see. We don't get the breaks here, and so at the stores on any of these cabinets. Um, and in my experience, just the aftermarket stuff, I don't I don't do it. Yeah, I'd rather deal with people I know. People always trying to scam, trying to get your Cash App ID and all this stuff. Um, Now Star Wars, the one up Star Wars, it's a beautiful cabinet, no doubt. It's not a game I played growing up. So I'll talk about the games I didn't play growing up. I didn't play Blitz. I didn't play Killer Instinct. I didn't play Star Wars. Those are the three cabinets in my collection that I didn't grow up playing. I'm not gonna say I bought them for FOMO. I bought them because I like the cabinets. I've always been interested, but I never really played them. Of those three that I did not play, but I have the cabinets, Star Wars is definitely the least played. Um, it's the least played arcade one up cabinet that I own. Period. Um, I like the yoke. I like the feel of the yoke. I definitely want to do the mod that Kong's Rush did. If I did that, that cabinet would get played so much more. It's just the games that are included. The third game, Return of the Jedi, that game to me sucks. I can't get the movements together. It just I turn it. I try playing it every now and then, and I turn it off immediately. It drives me bunkers. Um, so I just have the two games, and those two games aren't compelling enough for me to play. But when people come over, they're drawn to the yoke, and they definitely gonna try it. So most of the time, like this Saturday, people are gonna be over. My multi-cades already have a reduced list. I don't have they have the 2,000 games or whatever it is on it, but they're reduced to a very small list on the vertical and on the horizontal. And typically, I'm going to pull up a certain game um, and leave it up on the cabinet. And those two games, those two multi-Ks take actual quarters, have a real coin door. But the vertical is the most game, or the cabinet that people switch between the games more than any other game. If I put up something on IRK, they're just going to play that game. If I put something up on, or even like Big Blue, whatever game up, they're not going to question it. They're not going to do it. But everybody that comes to my house knows that they can play Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Galaga, Donkey Kong, and so they're gonna switch those games on that cabinet. Period. The other cabinets, they'll just play whatever's up on there. Um, but the vertical is always gonna get the most play of multiple games. Yeah, the firing sound in Galaga is music to my ears. That the explosion when they crash into you, not so much, right? Uh, yeah, Defender, too much stuff going on for sure. Stargate the same way. Even though I love Centipede, Millipede, I I like that they switched it up, but in all honesty, I just prefer Centipede over Millipede as well. Um, yep. Now the only game that has all these buttons and just totally mayhem that I really likes playing, even though it's frustrating playing, that's Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke on my vertical. You got the three-way directional fire button. Uh, that game is so frustrating. The music is iconic. When I hear Gunsmoke music, my ears gonna perk up. Uh, it's probably gonna have a little taint of frustration with it. Then with the other games that spark that music instantly, I should do that one. I should do that one. One show is do like a name that tune for the arcades. Just no visuals, just do the a sound and have people guess the games. I should do that. And it's like how'd that go? I give you like two tones or three tones and see who will be the first person to guess it. That would be pretty fun. It's a matter of time. One Up makes a riser-less Star Wars. Didn't they just make a Star? I thought they just announced. Did they just announce a riserless Star Wars, or was it just a riser with the coin door? I thought the newest Star Wars arcade One Up. I don't think it's out yet, but I thought it was riserless. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't see it. I don't see it. I thought it was. I thought it was riserless. Um, so Goofyfoot says the only cabinet I have that I never played in an arcade is my Simpsons, and after playing it, I end up putting it in a pie. Putting it in a pie. So I have the iArcade Double Dragon. I don't think I've played Double Dragon since I got that. I played it when I initially got it. I don't think I played Double Dragon since then. But I like the artwork on the arcade for the Double Dragon. Now, if I knew I had to put my own, adhesive stickers and all that stuff on there, I wouldn't have gotten it. No question. um, but I'm not a real big fan of the beat 'em ups. Not a big fan of beat 'em ups. The only beat 'em up, I won't say the only, but the beat 'em up that I absolutely do not mind playing and actually like to play is the Punisher. The Punisher, which is um, on the Marvel superhero cabinet. It might be on some other ones, but the Punisher is a lot of fun. The Punisher is a lot of fun, and you can actually finish the Punisher. Um, my wife likes the Golden X, so my wife likes the Golden X, so I'll play that beat 'em up with her. Um, but if I'm gonna play a beat 'em up, um, the Simpsons I can tolerate a little bit, but only because you have the different characters that you can kind of mix it up a little bit with. But I'm not a big fan. I was kind of interested in Simpsons because of the bowling. So I would love to have played the bowling. I like to have a bowling. I do not have a bowling game in my arcade. I would love to have a shooter. I would love to have a bowling game, and I would love to have a racer. So those are three things that I would like to add to the arcade. Um, and I'm not really sure which one that I would get of the racer. Um, Even if it was pole position for me to have a racer in here, I would, I would, I would, I would do so. But so those are the three cabinets. I don't see myself buying any cabinet that's not those three. I want to get a deluxe cabinet with Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man or one of those twos. That's the first time I've been compelled to get a Pac-Man. I absolutely love Pac-Man, but I got the numbskull, and that kind of gave me Pac-Man into my arcade. And I have it on my modified um, Galaga. Um, so it's a really hard sell for me to buy a Pac-Man, but I really like the deluxe. Um, but I don't think I would get it if I had an option to buy a bowling game, a good racing game, and a good shooter. T2 to me is not a good shooter. It's not a game that I played, even though I was a big fan of T2. One game, one game is a no go. If it was to be one game, that's not the one game that can hold its own in my arcade. Um, okay, so the new Star Wars has riser but a coin door. Okay. Um, so Carl, what's your dream one up cab? And I'm a big fan of Robotron. I'm definitely a big fan of Robotron. Um, my dream cab would be Donkey Kong, but I know that won't ever happen. So that's my nightmare. Um, I would definitely would love a Robotron, but I would want a Tekken. I would want a Tekken 3, Tekken or higher. That would be my dream cabinet. Even though I just said the three things that I want to get, if it's not one of those three, I just don't see them doing a Tekken. I don't see them doing Donkey Kong. So those are dream cabs to me. Um, Realistically, those three, a driver, a bowling, and a shooter, or I think would be one of those three. I think would be my next one. Yeah, well, Robotron would definitely have Smash TV. Satan's Hollow. I played that a lot um, growing up. Very difficult game. Um, Sinistar, Sinistar. That's that music is crazy too. So I definitely like playing Sinistar. Um, what's the game? I think it starts with a Z, where you flew the ship and it was like 3D, and you can go over the walls. Um, I know I have it on this emulation, but in emulation it's just so difficult to actually emulate and actually control the spaceship. But I love that game. Um, it's another game. Voltron. What the hell? I can't even think of the name of that. The game where the little white balls are bouncing and you're shooting up, down, left, right, and up, down, left, right. I know the name of it, but it's escaping me as most things are today. Um, that's the game I would like to have in my arcade. Yeah, so Zaxxon, I just don't think they can emulate that properly. They would have to have the right controls for that. I would love to have a Zaxxon, um, but I don't know what other game you would put with Zaxxon. But I've always liked Zaxxon. I just don't think that's a cabinet that would come to the home arcade, um, similar to a Cubert. Yeah, we definitely need a good bowling game. Well, but IRK doesn't have a trackball, so I think you need a trackball to have a good bowling game. What do you guys think? Yeah, Punch Out would definitely be cool. I do have that on uh, my modified Street Fighter. I did a cabinet for a guy that owns a restaurant in town, and he just had to have Punch Out, Super Punch Out, whatever it was. And so once I put it on his, then I put on mine because like most of my games are all arcade games on my modified cabinets. Though I did make exception for Tekken 3, Punch Out, and it's a couple other ones, but I don't really play the other ones as much. Um, but definitely Tekken 3. Would love to have that. Danzy says the arcade one up Pac-Man has a fast speed. I cannot play it now with slow. Yeah, yeah, and I'm the same way with Galaga. I love Galaga, but the lack of auto fire drives me crazy. And for some reason, I had and now you mentioned somebody mentioned they had a pie. make sure you have that image backed up. We know you got an image, you made some tweaks to it over time. Make sure you have the image, and those images, if you have to download it again, it's probably not going to be seeded, so it's going to be tough to get them again. So make sure you have your image backed up somewhere, so if you lose it, because I did lose my image on my vertical, and I I thought I had it backed up. I had my Street Fighter 2 backed up a million times because I was building a lot of those, so I always had that image backed up. But I did not have my Pi backed up for the vertical, and when I lost it, I when I rebuilt it, I could not get the fast Galaga going and working, and I just have not had time to, you know, I've not taken the time to get it working. Even on my countercade, I still don't have the fast Galaga. It just won't load for some reason. But I know I had it on the previous one, so I know the copy's out there somewhere. But I just hadn't taken the time. It just hasn't been worth it. But I definitely want the fast Galaga. And Pac-Man's the same way. I definitely uh, prefer the fast Pac-Man over the normal one. Silver Strike bowling for one up. They teased us with that. They had that Golden Tee slash Silver Strike, and something fell through, obviously, and it never happened. But yeah, Silver Strike bowling would be awesome to have. That would be the bowling I would prefer to have. And as they've elevated these cabinets with uh, Killer Instinct, Blitz, they definitely have the processing power now to get Silver Strike to work. So I hope they do that. Um, yep, Silver Strike. That would be the bowling that I would definitely prefer. Afterburner, I don't. I recalled it, but I cannot visualize what Afterburner is. I know I used to like what's the Tom Cruise movie that he had with the thing, and you would fly that, and you have to fuel up in air, and in flight, and to get more fuel before you can carry on. Top Flight or Top Gun, Top Gun. I really like the Top Gun flying game. Um, oh, Kickman with the balloons. Yeah, I've played that. Um, I have that on my modified thing. And I think they call it Kickman and Kingman. They change these things. Now, a game that I really enjoy, and I don't know if you guys have ever played it. That me and my buddy Sean play hours and hours and hours of this, and I don't know if I would need a cabinet with this, but I definitely hope that Arcade One Up adds this to their future cabs, one of their future cabs, and that is uh, Russian, Russian attack. Is that what it's called? They renamed it like Green Beret or something like that. Uh, but it was like Rush, not Russian, Rush like you're rushing to do some Rush and Attack, I believe it was called. Um, yeah, Russian Attack. And they changed it to Green Beret or something like that. Green Beret, or Green Beret, or something like that. But Russian Attack, I would definitely love to see that game on the cabinet. I don't know why Green Beret. So let me put this down here. Uh, no, that's not what I wanted. Russian. It was called Rush N Attack, and then they changed it to Green Beret later on. That game was a lot of fun. I don't know if we have a video. You would think that you would. Well, I guess if I search on YouTube, right? Let's do Russian Attack. This is definitely one of my favorite games growing up. Played tons and tons. Let's see. No, 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 right? And I think I think it was Russian Attack in the arcades, and then I think it was Green Beret, Green Beret on like Sony, or I'm sorry, Nintendo. Um, I'm not sure. This graphics looks horrible. That I remember it looking that bad. But let me take that off. Um, but Green Beret, I would love to see that in a cabinet. Yeah. So Vanguard. That was the game I was thinking of earlier. Yep. Vanguard. I would love to if you can give me a cabinet with if Arcade1 gave me a cabinet horizontal cabinet with Vanguard, Russian Attack, and Rolling Thunder. Those three games, Rolling Thunder 2, um, that would be a cabinet I would love to see. And if and I'm not sure which would be the marquee game, but I would love to see those three games added to arcades cabinets in some capacity. Because I forget what the Vanguard buttons. Obviously, a Vanguard button scheme would work with Russian Attack because you're just hitting one button to shoot, right? And so you just pick one of those four buttons, and it'll definitely work with Rolling Thunder. So I think it'd be great. So I think Vanguard would it should be the marquee game just because the button setup would be have to be like Vanguard. Um, but Russian Attack, Green Beret, whatever you want to call it, uh, I definitely would. I definitely would love to see that. So Gorf, oh, I was never really a big fan of Gorf, uh, though I will play it. Yeah, Top Gun. That's what I was thinking about for sure. Yeah, Afterburner, Space Harrier would be great. Yeah, Russian Attack. That is definitely a cool game. Yeah, yeah. Somebody keeps saying stuff is on the. They said Vanguard was on. Well, they said Vanguard was on the ALU. I haven't because mine are down. I haven't turned it on and tried it. Um, yeah, yeah. That knife was vicious, but obviously you want that bazooka. You want that bazooka on Russian Attack because it had that long range, knock out like four different enemies. Yeah, the landing on Top Gun was even the fueling the air was difficult, but yeah, it's certain games that are going to have mass appeal. Some of these games I'm talking about, like Russian Attack, I don't know that is strong enough to hold his own cabinet, right, to be the marquee game. But Russian Attack definitely should be on a future arcade one up cabinet. Um, I think Vanguard should be. I mean, they're running out of regurgitation, right? They have to start adding something. They have to start adding some new games, even if they offer some of the same older games in conjunction with these cabinets. But I think they need to definitely start looking at some of these other cabinet titles. Uh, yeah, them dogs super fast, man. Get this thing out the way. Look at that. Them things come flying at you. Those German Shepherds. Again, the color and this may be the original game, but it may be because we played it on the consoles afterwards and they changed things around. But this gameplay just looks so much different than what I remember. But me and my buddy Sean, we played hours of Russian Attack. Uh, we would get out of school and run to the bowling alley just as quickly as we could. And this is definitely one of the games that we would be playing. All right, guys. Well, I've been going for about an hour and 39 minutes, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on my birthday. Um, spend a little time for me to talk some arcade because I hadn't had a chance to talk too much of it previously. But I appreciate you guys, man. Uh, I'm glad you guys still find time to play these games that bring back so much memories to you, um, and just to be able to enjoy life and enjoy a hobby that's pretty darn awesome. I appreciate all of you guys, man, stopping through. I'll see you guys tomorrow night on the Super Game Room Dudes. And until next time, I'll see you on the web. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching Detroit Love. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. We want to see and read your comments below. And until next time, I'll see you on the web.